Hey guys, what's up? Danny from Dynamic's Kitchen. Good to see you as always. Today I'm taking you halfway around the world with me to Korea, where we're going to learn how to make a side dish that they've been making there for thousands of years. It's called kimchi. It's a fermented food. It has ways of preservation. They didn't have refrigeration back then. I had this dish for the first time exactly when 15, 16 years old. I'm not really sure. I was at a restaurant in the city. First time at a traditional Korean place. It was really cool. We all sat down. The server just started bringing all of these small dishes of like little awesome amounts of food, but just like tastings, you know? So I'm tasting, I'm trying everything, and I fell in love with this one dish, kimchi. It was crispy, it was bold, it was spicy, which I absolutely love. It's absolutely amazing, and I'm so stoked to show you guys how to make it. Let's get started. We're working with lots of cool stuff today. I got 6 pounds of Napa cabbage. I'm using non-chlorinated water, 1 cup of salt, 1.5 pounds roughly daikon radish, 1 green apple, 10 to 12 baby carrots, 2 bunches of scallions chopped, 4 ounces of ginger chopped, 1 whole head of garlic peeled, 1.5 cups of hot Korean chili flakes, 2 teaspoons of minced red pepper, and 1 tablespoon of sugar. So to make the kimchi, we're working with this fine head of Napa cabbage that I have here. Quick note though, you don't have something like this in your supermarket. You can use green cabbage, I would suggest. You can use it's like a Savoy cabbage. Any kind of cabbage that's not too rigid or too hard. Like I wouldn't use like a red cabbage. So do the best that you can with what you have. Let's begin by cutting her up. Cut the base off. Begin stacking the leaves, one on top of another. About like, I don't know, 4, 5 at a time. Let's do like 4 for now. That's cool. All right, turn them over. I like bite-sized pieces with my kimchi. It's just a lot easier to eat. I like to use chopstick when I eat this. So we're gonna make nice bite-sized pieces. Cut it roughly about 1 inch apart. Turn it around. Just like that. Perfect size pieces is what you're looking for. Nothing really bigger than that. So we're good and chopped. I know it looks like a lot of cabbage. Don't flip out. It's not. You're going to see what's going to happen. 1 cup of salt. Divide it equally in both bowls. Don't flip out about the salt either because we're going to wash it off. But this is really going to help the cabbage to shrink and release a lot of its water. I'm going to add roughly 1 cup of water to each bowl. And with your extremely clean hands, I want you to just get it mixed in there. Get that salt on every piece of leaf that you can. This is really going to shrink down by half. After this, we're going to allow this to sit for about an hour. Every 20 minutes though, intermittently. We're going to come back and we're going to give it another good tossing. So part 1 is done. The cabbage part is done. This is part 2. We're making the red chili paste. Get yourself a food processor, the garlic, the ginger. Process it until it's a paste. Or get it on the floor like I am. In a larger bowl or measuring cup, remove the garlic and the ginger. I was at the Korean market today. This is where I got my chili paste that you're about to see. This is the Korean hot chili flakes. Very, very inexpensive. If you don't have a Korean market by you, you can definitely get this online. This actually isn't that spicy. I'm still gonna use quite a bit because I need quite a bit of paste, so that's 1.5 cups. I like my kimchi extremely fiery and spicy, so my nose runs. So I went ahead and I milled crushed red pepper, which isn't a traditional ingredient, but it doesn't have to be. It's a variation on a theme. I'm gonna add that to it. And just to cut it, I'm gonna add a little bit of sugar, about a tablespoon. And really, just start adding your non-chlorinated water, little by little, until you form a paste. Really work it in there. Add a tiny bit more water. You don't want it too wet. Oh, this is going to be delish and spicy. I can't wait. Definitely one of my favorites, and I hope it's going to be one of your favorites too. So as y'all can see, we've already decreased in size. Give it another mixing. It's been 20 minutes. You can see a lot of water is already coming out for the cabbage. You're gonna repeat this process 2 more times for a total of 3 for about an hour in total. And we're pretty much ready to go after that. We've been sitting for about an hour, been tossing them every 20 minutes or so. As you can see, look at all the liquid that's come out. This is water and lactic acid. Strain both of these in the sink with a colander. I'm gonna rinse with cold water. I'm gonna strain. I'm gonna rinse with cold water. I'm gonna strain. I'm really gonna push that water out and getting all the salt out of here. You don't want your product to be super, super salty. So all we really have to do now is cut up the last of the vegetables. You got your daikon radish here. Go ahead, quarter it. Quarter the other side. And just cut them into bite-sized pieces. Pieces just like this size. Perfect. Set those aside. Bring on the carrots. Really just quarter these too. Keep them matchstick size. All bite-sized pieces, just like we want. So the last of the veg have been cut. Super. So this guy was hiding in the background. Let's cut him up real quick. Forgot about him. Bite-sized pieces will suffice. Perfect. It's gonna add a nice little sweetness to it. All we have to do now is put everything together, but very importantly, get yourself some gloves or your hands are gonna be all stained. If you touch your face, you're gonna burn. It's not gonna be fun. Mix everything in. Looks amazing. Look at that. Yeah. We're just gonna put all of our paste in here. Look at that rich color. Really massage it in, get it in there. Really work it in there. It feels kind of cool too. All right, I'm sick, whatever. Yeah, this looks amazing. Wow, I can't wait. Have your jar ready because we're pretty much done. So before we go any further, now is the time to give a little taste test to make sure you don't want to add anything. See how spicy it is for you, maybe make it spicier. Oh yeah, it's pretty spicy. That's exactly what I want. Let's just pack it in there. I have quite a bit. I'm probably gonna even need another jar, which is fine by me. I don't have one sterilized right now, so I'll just fill up this one for now. We're really gonna pack it in. We want all the juices to come up. More juices are gonna form too, as the fermentation process kicks in. Really push it in there, pack it in as good as you can. You can see all the fluid coming up on the side. We're just about done. So round 2, I just finished making my jar. It looks amazing. I failed to mention though earlier that a big part of making kimchi is using fish sauce, which is a fermented Korean sauce made from fermented anchovy. Brian wants his batch with this. He insisted, put a gun to my head, so I'm putting it in. I omitted it out of my batch because I don't really care for it. It's very salty, so we're only going to use a tiny, tiny amount. If you happen to be a vegetarian and you don't want to use this product, you can put in just a tiny bit of soy sauce if you like. So we're only going to put in, like, really, that's it. That's all you need. Very high sodium, but it does add, you know, a different degree of flavor. So let's mix that in there. Let's fill up our second jar. I still can't believe that this batch produced so much. This is just unbelievable. I really didn't think it was gonna make this much. Really get those juices coming up the side. So let's package these guys up. We have our airlocks. I have 2 different kinds. This is an S lock, hence the shape of the S. We put a little bit of water in here. The water prevents oxygen from getting in and allows gas to be released, creating an airtight environment. This is a 3-piece lock. Serves exactly the same function. Put a little bit of water in there. Creates a barrier from the oxygen on the outside, but still allows gas to be released from the inside, creating an airtight barrier. So, now what to do? I'm going to ferment these at room temperature in a dark spot in my apartment. I'm just going to put them in the corner for about 2 days. I'm going to come back, see how we're looking. The gases and juices are really going to get flowing. The fermentation process is going to get going. I'm going to say about 3 days, 3 to 4 days, they'll be ready, but I'm going to check back in 2, and I'm going to check back with you. I also wanted to mention that you don't have to use an airlock. You can just have a regular top. However, you have to burp them. You have to release the air because the glass could actually explode, and you certainly don't want that because it's a mess. Plus, I'm not home a lot during the day, so this is the perfect thing for me. Also, If you want, you could do this in the refrigerator. However, the fermentation process is going to take that much longer, which is fine. If you're not in a rush, I'm in a rush because I can't wait to eat this. So I'm going to check back with you guys in 2 days. Wish me luck. Okay, so we're looking at 48 hours here, exactly 2 days, and the kimchi here is definitely making quite a mess. That's why I mentioned that you should put a plate underneath it because of the potential of this happening, which it has, and I'm glad it didn't go all over my floor because I'd be pretty pissed off. So let me just lift this and see if we can get, yeah, see all those bubbles coming up? Oh yeah, this is gonna be amazing. Give it a little shake. Yeah, you can see them. Totally. Oh, it smells so good too because I can smell it coming through the airlock. Your fermenting rates are gonna vary depending on the temperature of your home or apartment or wherever you are. The cooler it is, the longer it's gonna take to ferment. So for me, it was 48 hours. If you're in a cooler environment, it could take 3 days, could take 4 days. You really have to see and eye it. But this looks pretty amazing, and we're gonna open this bad boy up and give it a taste. So let's see what we have in store. So now the important part, the taste test. Dun dun dun! Let's see. It's been a long 2 days. I'll tell you that. Oops. Oh my God. Wow. So worth the wait. Oh my God, what a treat. I am so excited. My mouth is like not knowing what to do right now because there's so many different flavors going on between the hot and the sweet. I just tried part of the apple, by the way. Oh my God, it has taken on this crazy extra sweetness, boldness. I don't even have words to describe it. Amazing, amazing. It's gonna be gone in like 4 days. That whole big jar, 4 days, guaranteed. I'm gonna eat it every single day. But it's easy enough to make where I could just throw it in the corner and just keep it going. Also, it's loaded with probiotics, which are so good for you. I really hope you guys try this recipe. It's fun, it's adventurous, it's different. You gotta break it up once in a while. Until next time, Danny from Danny Mac's Kitchen. Good seeing you.